We still don't have front brakes on the Yz125 build, so while we wait, let's actually rebuild our brakes. I actually powder coated these and they look pretty nice, but we actually have to rebuild our brakes and our rear master cylinder. The front master cylinder does not need to be rebuilt, that thing worked perfectly. So if you can see here, both of our brake calipers have two packs underneath. Those are both rebuild kits and brake pads from All Balls Racing, and then the package that's underneath the master cylinder is obviously another rebuild kit. Let's actually rebuild the brake calipers today so we can actually get them thrown on the bike. So I've actually laid out the All Balls Racing rebuild kits for both calipers, and all the piston seals are actually soaking in our .4 brake fluid. We gotta let these soak for about 15 minutes and then we can actually go ahead and rebuild these brake calipers. I'll see you guys in about 15 minutes, and if you're doing this on your own, don't let that brake fluid touch anything that it shouldn't. Like, if I got it on that powder coat, it would probably melt it off. While we're waiting, we actually got our pistons ready, and then I got everything else we need. We took off the brakes, but somehow this rebuild kit comes with literally everything besides this little cap, and obviously the pistons. Believe it or not, I literally powder coated them in this little setup right here. It's a little janky, but it obviously gets the job done, am I right? It's been about 15 minutes, so let's actually fish these seals out and let's actually install them. We're going to put the two fat seals in first. It's pretty simple. All we're going to do is take our seal and we're going to shove it in there. This kind of seems a little big, I'm not going to lie. If you can see in there, there's like a little notch the seal's supposed to sit in. And there we go, just like that, we got our first seal in. Now we're going to do that with the four other seals. The thinner seals actually go on the top. Those are kind of just dust seals. And there we go, we got all the seals in the front caliper. That was a pretty easy job, and those went in like butter. I also just did the rear caliper seals off camera, but those went in easy too. Now we could just lube up the brake pistons and we could actually just slip them in. We're obviously going to lube them up with brake fluid. And there we go with one piston. That was kind of rough. Maybe we need to add more lube on the inside. And then we could simply just do our second piston. That one went in a little bit more smoothly. Now we're going to install the piston for our rear caliper with our open end facing out. We're just going to push that right on in, I guess. Now, if you're doing this, wipe your brake fluid up as fast as possible if it gets anywhere. Like I said, it could really damage. For like the last 30 minutes, I was looking for our slide thing that actually goes into our rear brake caliper, and I cannot find it, so we're just going to focus on the front for now. So we're going to take our bleeder valve and our bleeder valve seal. This one came in the All Balls Racing rebuild kit, and we're just going to squeeze it right on there. That new one is a tight fit, but there we go. Now it's just screwed into the brake caliper, and we can just tighten that up with an 8mm wrench. You don't need it too tight, but you definitely want that tight so you can't let air in or brake fluid out. So here we got our front brake bracket. We're just going to take this short rubber piece right here and we're going to put it in that hole. After fully coating this thing with grease, we're going to pop that flanged end into our brake bracket right here. Here's where it gets real with the grease. We're just going to try to stuff as much grease in there as possible.